Never heard of the Millennium Falcon?
Should I have?
It's a ship that made the Kessel run in less than 12 parsecs.
Hello everyone!
Hello!
How's it going? Welcome to our live show. So, we got some cool stuff going on. We're really excited to be back talking Ahsoka. But it's the end, Heather. It's so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
It is the end. All things must come to an end, I guess. I don't know. So sad.
So up and told.
But yeah, so we are talking Ahsoka today. So I guess we'll go ahead and we'll dive in. Hopefully we'll have a few people join us live here soon. Looks like we have one watching. I don't know. That might be my wife.
I think it's you.
Might be me.
Might be you.
I like to watch us do the show as we do the show. No, I'm just teasing. So cool. So I guess we'll go ahead and we'll dive on in. You ready?
Indeed.
Awesome. All right, guys. So welcome to... All right, here we go. Welcome to
Kessel.
This is our blooper reel beforehand, so if you're catching this, it's awesome.
Oh, it's been a long day.
It has. All right,
Okay.
You ready? Game time.
Sure.
Hey everyone, and welcome to
Kessel Run Weekly.
My name is Danny.
I'm Heather.
And today we're going to be talking about Ahsoka by EK Johnston. We're actually talking the final chapters, so 21 through 30.
So now this is appropriate.
Yes, now
I
that
thought
is
you were
appropriate.
asking me, like,
Oh, I'm sorry.
welcome to Ahsoka. I don't know.
Welcome to said book.
Welcome to the book.
Finally, you're at the book. No, so I actually did these final chapters as audiobook only. Which was kind of weird for me because normally, like I've told you and on previous episodes and everything, I like to kind of combine them, where I'm reading it. Like, it feels weird to say, like, I don't need somebody to read to me, but it's like a distraction thing. Like, I'm totally zoned in, got it going. Because I tried to do it with Star Wars music at one point. It doesn't work at all. I'm sitting here picking it apart, thinking about all the awesome things that I love about Star Wars music, and completely miss whatever I read. So I tried that too. So Danny's method so far has been reading it and the audiobook together. I just did the audiobook for 21 through 30, so if I missed something, please tell me, because I'm hoping I caught it all. But it was pretty exciting, all things considering. What have you thought so far of the book?
Pants on fire.
No, I enjoyed the book. It's just it hasn't been what I anticipated it being. I don't know. Maybe I had higher hopes for it.
Star Wars, boom, boom,
Yeah.
It's more introspective.
That's true. That's true. And I like getting to see into Ahsoka's mind. That's been a favorite of mine throughout the whole book. At the same time, it's kind of like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Am I wrong? Am I bad for this?
No, not at all. It's just not your kind of Star Wars necessarily. I mean, it is to a point, but well, most people that watch or read Star Wars, they're into it for the war part, not the, oh, this is
well,
how
I like the Star
go.
Side, too, so the Star Side's pretty cool. But, I mean, I don't know. Like, I felt like I either had higher hopes or gave the book more of a chance because it's one of my favorite characters. Because I love Ahsoka. These last few chapters were very exciting. As they were wrapping up and everything. I hated that it was all the way at the end that I was like, oh yeah, totally, I love this. This is exciting. Because, I mean, like, yes, it's a story that hasn't been told, and there was a lot of exposition and, how she's relating to new people and all this other kind of stuff, but I don't know. I just wanted more. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
I get ya. No, I get ya.
Yeah.
I liked that it was different.
Okay.
Personally. I liked that there was meaning to it, not just necessarily, how many limbs can you chop off? Which there were plenty.
There were plenty.
There
it's
were
a thing
plenty
now.
of chopped off limbs.
It's definitely a thing. Oh, my camera.
Your camera went fuzzy.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
I'm back. I had to make the crazy face for some reason. I don't know. Anyways, moving on.
Well, because that focuses your camera. If you have like a normal face, like that, it goes, I don't want to see that. But you make
normal face.
Yeah, you make a crazy face. It's like, oh no, that's where I'm getting you.
Oh, I got you now.
Yeah, you thought that was gonna pass. It's not.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, but I mean, as far as the book goes, like, I think this last set of chapters was probably my favorite. For one, I guess we've uncovered it was more like Star Wars to me. Yes. It had more of that of what I wanted to know about, as far as like how she got her lightsabers, how she became,
which was
Fulcrum.
awesome.
That was so awesome. Like, and listening to it was the coolest thing too, because like
I loved that she saved them.
Oh, absolutely, definitely. I thought it was really cool. Her kind of going down memory lane about Elam. Isn't that how you say it? I think Elam or Ilam. I can't remember how she pronounced it. But where they get the lightsaber crystals and everything. It's one of my favorite episode arcs with the little younglings, because it's got my Wookiee Padawan. I love Gunji. But yeah, so I like that whole arc and everything. And she mentioned Hu Yang too, which I don't know. Have you seen those? Have you seen that art? So, like, I guess quickly, it's kind of like what happens as a Padawan. So the things that you go through as a Padawan and everything, and Yoda and Ahsoka take like, I think it's like 6 Padawans to Elam, and that's where they go and they search for their crystals. The crystals sing to them, and that's what happens. In this particular episode, they're like overcoming their fears. Also, like, one's afraid of the dark, one's afraid of
and they're pirates. I know that.
Yes, there are pirates that show up. Yes, because that actually came up in the book. So yeah, but yeah, there are pirates that show up. I think it's actually Hondo, who comes up and tries to
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm shocked.
Floored. But Hu Yang is a robot who has been helping Jedi Padawans build their lightsabers for generations. Taught Obi-Wan, taught Yoda, and all this other kind of stuff. He's also voiced by David Tennant, I found out, which because like I was watching the episode one day and I was like, that voice sounds really familiar because it's kind of like
I think it's
mechanical,
funny to have a Scottish droid on Star Wars.
It was pretty cool. Like
I bet.
Yeah, it was. He obviously did a really great job.
Was he cross?
Was he what?
Sorry, I watch a lot of British television.
Was he cross?
Was he? Yeah. Was he like? Well, Scottish.
No.
He complained about things.
He didn't complain about anything. He was very to the point, like teacher mode, like no nonsense. So okay, I guess then yes, he was cross.
I see. I have been. This is a big digression, but you mentioned Tennant, but I watched a clip of Brian Cox getting very angry about the Big Bang Theory or whatever. Anyway, so I've been watching clips of like talk shows where people talk, you know, and like stand up and stuff, and it's all either Scottish or British, some Irish, you know. But now everything that it goes on in my mind where I'm like ranting a little bit or whatever, they're either Australian. I do it in a totally different accent. I can't do it out of my mouth, but when I think about, well, that's just in my head, it's totally Scottish.
We need to start adding the caption under yours that says rants in Australian. Rant in Scottish.
I have to be careful because I say things like, that don't matter over here. Nobody knows what I'm saying. Like, was he cross? Well, that just means that he's like upset.
I'm game to learn. I'll have to.
No, it just means that he's upset a little. You know,
got it, yeah.
Was he cross?
He was grumpy, is how I would describe him.
That's cross.
Well, there you go.
That's I mean, if you're gonna be cross, you need to do it in a Scottish accent because it's awesome.
There you go. It goes hand in hand, I think.
It does with eyebrows, and they all have eyebrows.
Well, anyways, so but yes, so David Tennant was Hu Yang, who helps him build the lightsabers, all that kind of stuff. Ahsoka was helping him and everything, but she kind of like reflects back on that whole experience, which is really cool. And I don't know, it kind of took me back. I mean, like I said, it's one of my favorite episode arcs and everything. Like, no joke, if they don't have something similar in Galaxy's Edge in the parks, I would be very devastated. Because it's almost like
would you?
I would, because like it's Harry Potter land. The Harry Potter world has their wizarding. Like they get to choose their wands, or the wands choose them. However that works in the stories. They have that thing. Why shouldn't we have ours? That would be the same kind of thing. It's like, okay.
See, I would be angry if I went to Potterville or whatever and there was no Peeves. And see, there's people like you that don't even know Peeves exists.
Not a clue. I watched the movies once.
Yeah, it's like.
But I mean, like,
yeah, I get it. You know.
I think it would be really awesome. I think it'd be a cool thing, like you go and you find your crystal or whatever, and
but now we know that we can just go steal that guy's crystal.
That is true. We did learn that.
We could just say,
and then you can steal that guy's back and turn it into your own thing.
Yeah.
So like,
well, it's singing to me, so it's mine.
And you start using that excuse of the real world.
Yeah.
Why did you steal that, Danny? Well, it was singing to me.
It was singing
to
me. It was mine.
It was mine.
It sang to me across the
You can't
stars.
hear it because I can only hear it, but it's mine.
Yeah, I'm gonna go into like the store and go and get me like headphones or something. They were singing to me.
They were singing to me.
But I can't hear it because it was mine.
It's mine. Exactly. It wasn't yours. Yours will come to you. Oh my goodness. I didn't even think about that with the anyways. But yeah. But I thought that was really cool though, like with her whole lightsaber thing, because like she had the extra parts initially from the first, I can't remember what it's called, but the little machine that Caden brought her and everything, and it was like, oh, it had extra parts. The Thresher. Yeah, the Thresher. My first thought though when it had extra parts was like, what's about to blow up, because something's not right here.
You know, there's always something left over.
But I thought that was interesting though, that she kept that and then ended up using it towards her sabers. for the hilt and everything. Because I mean, I didn't notice actually till literally just a second looking at the cover. Her hilts are not the same as they are in Rebels. They're not the curved silver hilts. They're like black almost, is what it looks like. Yeah. They're more like her original hilts than the newer ones that we get to see when she shows up in Rebels. So yeah, so I think that's really cool that, like, I mean, it's made of a thresher and random parts that she found. It's like, I mean, I'll
wouldn't
take
you
it.
think that that's kind of what they do? They take trash and they make it into treasure.
That's true.
As far as lights, and that's how I've always envisioned it anyway. Like, I have one of my D&D characters. She's an engineer, and she goes and she scours for a certain amount of time, and she gets parts, and then she creates these amazing things out of them. So yeah, that's just part of her character. But yeah,
and I liked how that it brought out kind of the fixer and tinkerer side of her that she learned from Anakin. Something that she had a natural knack to anyways, but Anakin cultivated that. And so it's like she finds a gear on the floor. I could use that. Kind of things like that. I would be interested to see like exactly what those came to be. Fully done and everything. Like the full look of that hilt. I think that would be really, really cool. Kinda like
I bet you could do that, and then that would be your tattoo.
I'm down.
I bet that would be a bad booty tattoo.
A bad booty tattoo.
I said it right, didn't I?
You did. It just said it.
Well, it's not my normal language.
We'll put that on a t-shirt.
It didn't come out as fluently.
We'll put that on a t-shirt or a sticker or something. So what did you think of the whole stuff with the crystal? Because we kind of crossed over that with the Darth Vader comics, and everybody was like, "Oh, that's how we found out about the crystals, and this is what happened and everything." But like, this book was out way before that, so I think I lost you. Sorry, guys, if you can bear with us, we're having some difficulties with Heather's mic. Apologize, but yeah. And she's back.
I don't know why it keeps doing that. I Googled.
If you guys know, please let us know.
Yeah.
Any help would be greatly appreciated at this point.
I think it's calling to someone else. I think it's singing to someone else.
Probably. But yeah, so what did you think of the crystals?
I think that, it's a lot of pages.
A lot of pages.
It takes time to read and not just look and go, oh, okay.
I'm confused.
Yeah. Well, there's the comic, and you read a few pages, and it explains it, with pictures.
Yeah.
Or you could read the book.
I just got what you were saying. That's true. Because, I mean, like, in when we covered that, I think way back when that first comic came out, it was all revolutionary because we hadn't seen or read the Ahsoka book or knew anything about it at that point. And so it was just like, oh man, that's what happens. And in the book, it's like, yeah, it's explained it right here. That's what happens. They left out the part about it singing, but I would be interested to know whose crystals those were initially for them to reach out to Ahsoka like that, or what caused them to do that.
They had to be twins, probably. And they came from the Jedi Temple, which she felt a connection to them because they probably came from the Jedi Temple. But they didn't say who they belonged to. But they had never seen white ones before. And so that makes me wonder what color they were initially. And if they were like blue or green, and then they were red for a while, and they're like, just mess it. I'm just going to be white.
We'll give you the whole spectrum right here.
Yeah, I'm just tired. Just put a prism up there, and you could just be whoever you want to be.
Yeah, I like the white though, because like
it
really does symbolize Ahsoka. I mean, it really shows. Like, I don't know, like with Ahsoka and her whole story and everything, and how it plays out. The lightsabers are a representation of that, absolutely. Where she is no Jedi, She doesn't know what she is, but she's there to help. She is somebody who wants to help, who wants to make the galaxy a better place. I mean, even so far as to becoming an informant for the rebels and everything, which I thought was really cool. But yeah, I love everything about the new lightsabers that she's gotten.
Too.
Especially with how they described the crystals once before she changed them. How they were screaming at her. The screaming with the imbalance of the darkness and the light and everything.
Right.
I don't know. It was creepy to hear like that and everything. Because even in the audiobook, you hear in the background kind of like a ah or something like that.
Yeah.
Not quite like that. I'm not a good impressionist with that, but
yeah, you are. That was perfect.
Perfect. Right on it.
But I mean, I was joking about the being tired, but there is a part that you're like, you were born one way and then someone turns you into something that you were never meant to be. And then you finally get to go back to what you can be, but you can never go back to what you were.
You get so deep and I love it.
I know, and it drives people crazy.
I love it.
And I can't help it. It's like, it drives me nuts because even when I'm saying it, I'm like, I'm sorry that I can't quit talking.
No, you're fine. That's what the podcast is for. Get it all out.
I guess that's why I talk to you and not other people usually.
Aww. I'll take it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and it makes me wonder with Ahsoka, as far as like what she's gone through and what and who she is becoming throughout Rebels, throughout this book and everything. Like, it kind of makes me think of Rey, to be honest. Not quite the same, because she still has that Jedi discipline and pre-training, I guess. Prerequisite training, almost. But at the same time, like, she's in a path that Ezra, that Kanan, that Rey herself is kind of in. And it's a new Jedi kind of thing.
Right.
It's a new something, and I think that's really peculiar, really interesting to me, because so far we don't know what balance really looks like. It's the whole prophecy thing and all this other kind of stuff, and I mean, we've seen where, like, in The Last Jedi and in Force Awakens, where Rey can literally go like, I'm gonna kill you right here in this forest, to, oh, well, yeah, I'm good. It's the light side. Or dart straight for the weed cavern that's in The Last Jedi, to all of a sudden, yeah, I'm good, and freak out Luke and all this other kind of stuff. The same thing with Ezra. He's gone one side to the other. Kanan, he doesn't always keep his emotions in check either. I mean, I would say that he's probably I would say that he's probably touched the dark side a few times, and so it would be interesting to me to see more of what's going on with that. Especially after seeing the Prime Jedi mural in The Last Jedi and everything. Like, I want to know more about that. The whole, what's actually balance. Because I love how, like, The Last Jedi was supposed to, or tried to, rather, settle some of that, but at the same time, it just raised more questions.
Well, it is a Star Wars movie.
That is true. Got to keep you coming.
Yeah, I think that Ahsoka's caught up in what a Jedi is supposed to be, because she was trained in it. I mean, and then as you go, I'm no Jedi, but you are. You're more of a Jedi than any living person, except for maybe Obi-Wan.
Well,
but yeah. I mean, and Yoda. But I mean, like, as far as like what she thinks a Jedi is, she's more Jedi than anyone else.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But as you go, things evolve, and they evolve based on situation. And she's got, and I mean, her definition of Jedi has not changed, but she realizes she can be a Force wielder and just not call herself a Jedi. When she's talking to Kanan, who isn't nearly as Jedi as she is, oh yeah, you're a Jedi and I'm not,
Yeah. Very peculiar.
Yeah.
had something. Oh yes. So
yeah, I see.
Yeah, I lost my train of thought. But no, so like you said, I mean, she ends up being a lot more Jedi than most of them because she got a lot more of that training and everything. I liked the whole exchange between her and Sixth Brother in the book where he's like, well, I told Caden that the Jedi don't have attachments and they don't love and all this other kind of stuff. And Ahsoka's like, who are you talking to? Like,
yeah.
Somebody really misinformed you.
And they did.
Yeah. I like that
somebody
was
cut off his arm to keep him alive to fight a Jedi, and it still didn't do any good.
Yep. It's almost like the 6 degrees of separation. He's the sixth brother, right? Vader. I don't know. I'm just.
But that would be thought. 1 degree.
That would be separation. 1 degree. But there's 5 others in between them, though.
No, that's not how it works.
That's not how any of this works.
That's not how any of this works.
I don't know. I don't even know where that thought came from. But anyways.
I don't either.
But no, that was another one of my favorite parts was that whole exchange about the attachments and all that kind of stuff. Because, I mean, you and I have talked about it before about how the Jedi Order failed and didn't work and all this other kind of stuff. And I think even in The Path of the Jedi, the book that I got you, I think wasn't it something about the attachments was added on? I can't remember exactly, but I want to say that
I quit reading it when I found out it wasn't canon.
Oh, well, I want to say that
Mara
yeah,
in it. I was like, well, I can't use any of this on the podcast.
You are useless to me.
You are dead to me. You're on the shelf. I'm gonna read it eventually. I just, we've been pretty busy.
But I mean, like I can't remember where I saw it, but I want to say that I remembered in that book it had something to do with attachments and talking about that and how that was kind of an addendum, something added to the Jedi Code instead of it being something that was always there.
Right.
And I don't know, that's something that's kind of fascinated me with that.
There are other examples of that in actual life. So, I mean... Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it never turns out well.
No.
I mean, when certain things started, there was plenty of opportunity for attachment, and then you take that away, and then very bad things happen. Yeah,
I could imagine. I mean, we've seen it, so... but I mean, I don't know. Like, I just like the... I like the view that Ahsoka has for the Force and for what a Jedi should be. Because she's almost what Anakin could have been had he not had that unhealthy relationship with everything. We're not even going to leave it to one thing, but with everything. If he would just had been allowed to know the Force and to find himself in the Force and everything. And so I feel like she's a good mirror or a good kind of into the looking glass view for Anakin on that. So something that makes her character very interesting to me.
I really loved that she's been talking to R2 this whole book. I mean, like the whole book, she's been talking to R2. And then the little beepy comes on and she's like, oh, wait, wait a minute. I know that beep, you know, and then, you know, R2 brings up Anakin and she's like, yeah, I missed him too. And he knows.
Everybody knows. And nobody tells her.
Nobody tells her.
Really? Because like, there's even a point where she's talking to Bail Organa and she's mentioned something about Padme. And he wants to, but I mean, ethics in the Star Wars universe aren't always awesome. Not always, but 'tis war.
He killed your father. Kind of.
Yeah.
Go kill your father. But I won't tell you it's him.
Right. You must kill Vader. Oh, by the way, you're related.
Yeah, maybe you should have mentioned that.
Seems important.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, well, and the whole R2 thing's right after she kicks butt on Bail Organa's ship. The poor guy.
What's funny about that is that the man goes to capture a Jedi with 2 people and a droid.
It's almost like he sent them in as cannon fodder, to be honest.
He did. He was like, you know what? Y'all need to go capture this person. Good luck.
Yep. Exactly.
And he's probably back in the background going, this is pretty funny. Let's make sure to record this because this is going to make it on America's Funniest Home Videos.
Exactly. But no, I thought that was absolutely hilarious. Because it was like, what outcome did you think you were going to have? Especially like how she said it. You tractor beamed my ship, gave me no choice but to come aboard. Coming and swinging.
Yeah, if you're gonna like tractor beam the ship and send a signal. I mean, I know there's communication.
That was my thing. Like, why didn't you try to communicate?
Yeah, say, hey, I helped you out there. I just want to say that I'm fixing to tractor beam your ship, or I have tractor beamed your ship, and I would like to talk to you. But if you don't want to, back away slowly.
Right. I mean, we know they have the gargled voices with Fulcrum and everything, so, I mean, he could have used something to encrypt himself.
There are things that you could have done, but he didn't, and he did it the way he did it, and they paid the price, and I'm sure they woke up very sore.
Oh, yes. Well, even Bale said that he hasn't forgiven him for it, so... So I thought that was pretty great. What did you think of the whole final battle on Raida?
I liked it. I mean, to me, it wasn't. I'm glad enough people made it out that made it out. I wasn't expecting that many people to make it out.
Well, I mean, not after the Sixth Brother annihilated like most of the people that she knew.
Survivors. Yeah.
Like went through and took them all out. It's just like, golly.
Right. Yeah. I fell asleep listening to it. And when I woke up, I heard her like Ashley Eckstein doing her angry voice.
Oh,
I'm his only target now. And I was like, man, that means everybody's dead. So I had to rewind it because I had to like listen. And I was like, oh, okay, well they're still alive or whatever. But yeah, I kind of figured everybody was gonna die, so I'm glad more people made it than. You know, I think it's funny that Jenneth made it out.
Did he end up making it out? Because I thought that he
no, he jetted.
That is true, yeah. Because I think wasn't it the Grand Inquisitor at one point, or
at the end was like, I want to hunt him down and torture him, but he's already gone. I mean, there's nothing I can do.
Not worth it. Yeah,
it's not worth it.
Exactly.
And it was funny because to me, this won't be funny to anyone else. Sorry. That he's talking about calculations, you know, and to me, and he's like, once you add in mythology, and I'm like, the Force has been around, and you would think calculations would have included it. Like, because when you look at string theory, or you look at, you know, calculations for like gravity or whatever, you have to include something that's everywhere. If it binds the universe together, you would think that it would be involved in your calculations because it's only been a year for the Jedi to have disappeared.
That's true. That's what it still floors me in the novels and everything else where, like you said, it's only been a year since all of this went down, and all of a sudden it's like everyone's immediately brainwashed. Like, I don't know, some super Jedi mind trick that Palpatine did with, oh, well, yeah, all the Jedi were traitors,
we know
and
that the dark
Force
side
doesn't exist, so, yeah. But, I mean, like, it's just kind of like, I don't know. I don't get that. Because it's like almost like as soon as Order 66 hit, the Order 66 for everyone else was forget about everything. All of a sudden, nothing exists. The Force was never there, even if you believed in it. Nothing.
See, that's what, you know, I mean, I got the fact that he turned everyone against them. you know, the Jedi were horrible, you know, they were traitors and blah, blah, blah. I don't understand how he then went from they're traitors and never existed and didn't. Pew, pew.
Yeah, because it makes it seem like they've been gone for like a century and that they're just like an old tale, like the heroes of the medieval time kind of thing. Like all of a sudden it's like they never existed, and so I don't.
But I mean, even you know, in medieval time, I mean, we understand that there were jousting sticks.
Right.
We know that people ran around on horses. That was their main mode of transportation. There's. You don't just cease to exist.
Right.
I mean, even if the propaganda changed how you felt about it, they can't just go, oh, by the way, it's not real.
Yeah. All of a sudden, it all became fake overnight.
Right.
Just child stories. But I saw someone throw someone across. What didn't happen? Didn't happen. Yeah. You were dreaming.
Figment of your imagination.
So yeah, that's still. I'm hoping that something like that's going to be kind of explained. Maybe it is explained in another novel. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm hoping that it'll be that one.
I can't see it.
The original trilogy. I'm hoping that when A New Hope starts out, it'll
True.
explain some stuff.
Well, you read Revenge of the Sith, right? Did it explain anything? Well, no, because it ends with Vader on the table. Well, I don't know. Does the book end the same way? Okay. So it really doesn't explain nothing after that as far as, like, the establishment of the new empire or anything? Okay.
No, it goes into them being traitors. It doesn't go into that I mean, maybe they propaganded it to a point where it's just parlor tricks. I mean, at one point, magicians were believed to be real magic. I mean, so
wait, you don't believe
maybe
in magic? I'm just playing.
My kid did.
Oh, really?
Did I ever tell you about Seth not wanting to read? Okay, so Seth was 4, and I said, okay, let's learn how to read, and he said no. And I said, well, you really need to learn how to read. He said, no, I don't. And I said, well, you're going to need a job someday. And he said, okay. So he came to me and he said, I have it. I said, what you got? He said, I'm going to drive a trash truck. I said, street signs, driving test, and I went through the thing. Okay. Yeah. 2 days later, I have it. What you got? Janitor.
Why sanitation?
I said, chemical compounds. You'll have to know what goes together and what doesn't, or you create toxic fumes. And I went through the whole thing. Okay. 2 days. This is a 4-year-old. 2 days later, I have it. No, I really have it, Mom.
Oh,
okay.
Man.
What you got? He said, you ready? Magician.
Oh, man.
I said, okay. Well, you'll have to come up with your own tricks, which means you'll have to, like, write down what the process is for your trick and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, you just go blah, 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 blah. And I was like, no, because magic's not actually real. It's, you know, an optical illusion, or it's, you know, a distraction of some sort. It's, you know, it's not magic. I mean, it's magic in your brain. It's not actually physically changes. I'm gonna have to learn to read, huh? And I said, yeah,
probably.
So a couple of weeks later, he learned to read, but yeah, it took a while. He was just like, oh,
Seth, hold on to your dreams.
Yeah.
Magician's viable. It's viable. It
is, but you still have to know how to read.
That is true.
I mean, I'm not saying Hogwarts really, you know, failed people at their education. And everybody wants to go there. They're waiting for their letter or whatever. But there's not a lot of actual practical education going on at Hogwarts.
No.
There's no health class. Well, there's no health class.
Well, you don't need it when you can, like, swish and, like, turn someone's bones to jelly and stuff, so.
But you do, because, you know, there's things called diabetes and,
well.
you know, exercise.
Not at Hogwarts. No, I'm just teasing.
Not at Hogwarts.
Well,
but,
all right.
You know, so, I mean, I can see that, you know, how people would think that it's just a parlor trick, you know, maybe. That's kind of how I justify it. But you would think that calculations require the Force.
You would think there'd be something for it somewhere. So, yeah. Because, I mean, at least, I mean, the Jedi, at minimum, like, was able to calculate or to quantify it with midichlorians. So, I mean...
Oh, shut your mouth! I said midichlorians one time on somebody's podcast, and they go, no! So, yeah.
Oh, goodness.
I try not to say that word
They're
anymore.
there, guys. It never came back up again, but it's there.
Yeah.
It's canon.
But, yeah, you would think, because, I mean, there's, like, calculations that done improperly, you know, set back science, you know, a long time.
It's probably why the Empire is just so darn good at keeping everybody back.
I heard a theory the other day about The Last Jedi.
Oh, goodness.
That
oh, no.
they should have just mini jumped ahead of the ship and like shot backwards. Okay. And I'm like, these are people that can't figure out a lot of stuff. Why would you think that they just all of a sudden would just think of that? They're not very adept at what they do.
No. They know how to drive it, and that's about it.
I mean, Huck sat there, and the other guy's like, yeah, we probably should have done that 5 minutes ago. Well, and you lost the whole ship over it.
Yep.
This is pretty much a theme.
Ego, pride.
Right. So just because you would do it doesn't mean that the Empire or the First Order would. Obviously.
Right. Obviously. We'll be exploring those, I'm sure, here in the near future. We've got quite a bit of ammunition for The Last Jedi building up over the time, so yeah.
Oh, man.
But, so, finishing up with Ahsoka, though. So...
Sorry.
No, you're okay.
You're going to have a lot of editing to do on this one.
It's live, man. It is what it is. No.
Well, there's a live version, and there's the edited version.
So, did you have anything else you wanted to cover on Ahsoka or anything like that? Any points we missed or anything?
Don't think so.
Okay. So, final overall impressions. What did you think of the book?
See, I really liked it.
Did you?
I liked that it was a departure from the norm. I liked it a lot. Especially, and am I going out?
No, you're not.
Oh, okay. Especially since a lot is going on in my life right now. I mean, if Ahsoka can lose everybody,
yeah,
I can lose people and still be okay. You just gotta focus on, what you have. And I know that this is a Last Jedi reference, but it feels like it pertains to this book. And what's going on with me is, let the past die and kill it if you have to. But really, you don't have to kill the past. It's already dead. It's gone. It's gone. And all you have to do is focus on what you have now and just learn from the past.
Right.
And move forward.
Absolutely. I completely agree. Ahsoka is a huge testament to that.
Yes.
Because of everything that she has gone through, from having to leave the Jedi Order, being accused of murder, or wrongly accused rather, everything. I mean, like, yeah, she's poster child for it. In all honesty, as far as role models go for a series, Ahsoka's great. I mean, because it's like she actually deals with the things that everyone else is going through. She's the one that's actually growing or running into these things and adapting and showing how she comes out of it, and all this other kind of stuff, where Anakin just says liar. So
the balls.
Yeah. Everybody just kind of like crumbles. Traitor. So yeah, but no, I mean, overall I thought the book was good. I enjoyed the last half of the book the most, personally. I don't know that it's one that I'd feel like I'd want to reread or anything like that. But I mean, I'm not normally a reader though, so as far as that goes, that's kind of an interesting bar, I guess, for me. Thrawn's pretty much the only one that I'm like, yeah, Thrawn. So, but I mean, as far as Ahsoka goes, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was and everything. I enjoyed getting to look into what Ahsoka was thinking, her mindset, where she was at and everything, and seeing her grow over the course of the book into Fulcrum. I thought that was really cool and everything, especially when she faced off against the sixth brother, and it was like she'd never missed a beat. Like she hadn't been off this whole time. Like she was on it. So I mean, it cemented. I mean, it didn't need to, but it cemented that Ahsoka was just that much more awesome for me.
Right.
So yeah. So no, I really enjoyed.
I thought it was cool that she could fight a trained Force user without a lightsaber, without a weapon.
Oh yeah.
She didn't even fire a blaster. I mean, she just went.
Yeah. Well, and then she's kind of like making fun of him for having to pull up his visor to be able to fight. Yeah. She's like, I can fight.
And then I'll just take your crystals.
Yeah. But they were singing to me.
Never mind.
So cool. So yeah, so I love the book. It was awesome. It was cool. Also love getting to talk the book with you. I mean, that's a highlight for me. So I get to actually converse with someone about the book. So so cool. So I think we'll go ahead and we'll wrap it up and everything, because we got some exciting stuff coming up. Actually, we're recording some stuff later today that's going to be really cool that we're really excited about. Yeah, so be looking out for more from us, guys. You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Kessel Run Weekly, and our website, kesselrunweekly.com. And keep checking back on our profiles. If you don't already follow us. Give this video a like, subscribe, all the stuffs that you're
do the things.
Do all the things. The social media things. I don't know.
And he's the one you're talking to, so you don't have to worry about anything.
Oh, whatever. Anyways. Well, alright, guys. And so, for Kessel Run Weekly, my name is Danny.
I'm Heather.
And until next time, may the Force be with you.